Moving on to other people who were unequally yoked. Zari Hassan and Diamond Platinums. Now, we know the two of these people have had the ups and downs. In fact, so much so that when they broke up due to a whole controversy. And Zari has mentioned this. She said that the reason why she left is because she'd covered him too much and she was tired of being bashed on the internet so much so, and defending a man who wasn't willing to correct his ways or at least to help her in covering up his mistakes. So he ended up impregnating a whole other woman. This was Hamisa, and they ended up getting a child together. And Zari was just like, okay, fine. I have protected you in private, but now you have publicly decided to ridicule me and to embarrass me, so I'm gonna leave. But the funny thing isn't all of that. All of that we've spoken about in the past. The funny thing is their children. Because, you know, as children grow, they will need an explanation. Yeah, you guys are constantly together. You guys are constantly FaceTiming. You guys are constantly meeting up for family holidays and family interactions. Your dad is constantly at the house. Your mom is constantly taking you to his house and all of that. The kids are like, you guys look like you're good together. Why are you not together? And obviously, they will come and ask. And that is exactly what happened in this particular situation. Unfortunately or fortunately, they have very strong-willed children who actually called them into a meeting. The children demanded that the parents sit down and explain themselves. And this was their daughter, Tifa. Now, Tifa began the conversation by asking, by saying, Dad, Mom said that you broke up the family. What? And obviously he's like, wait, what? I broke up the family? Who said what, when, what? And obviously Zari was like, no, that's not what I said. I said that Daddy met another woman and they have another baby together, and therefore it just couldn't work out between us. We decided to go different ways because of that particular reason. And she goes, no, I don't have kids with, Daddy doesn't have other kids. Those are our cousins. And Zari is trying to explain to this really young girl that no, your father has multiple children with multiple people, and saying it in a way that she's not bashing the dad in front of the kids. It's such a tricky balance altogether. So she continued saying, oh no, Zari then explained, I told you Papa had another girl and had another baby. So Nylan is just like, no, Mama T is the one who broke up the family. That was Nylan, their son. So it's always the kids going against the mom for whatever reason, because she's still in her marriage and in her relationship with her children, still covering for him. So she's always going to look like the bad cop. Anyway, long story short, it was a very comical way, and then they ended up like kicking her out and having hugs with Diamond, and Diamond saying, no, all of these are the places where you see your mom with other people. It's just for a video. All of these are the women you're talking about. All of those are just for video purposes. Your mom and I are good. Us guys are a family. He said that was a music video. Our family is still strong. It's never broke up. Wow. Okay. Long story short, they ended up hugging and being all cutesy and all of that, and they kicked out Zari, and Zari's like, oh, so you people don't love me? It was just a really comical way about how it all went down. But eventually, Diamond also captioned the video by saying, imagine these kids came to us serious last night, and they said that they want to talk to us. Luckily, I told my videographer to shoot. Now watch what was the conversation. Watoto wa siku hizi wana mambo mengi. Imagine ati jana wametuita seriously, wanasema wana maongezi na sisi. Haya, sikia hayo maongezi sasa. And I'm just like, children now are so different. Like, I'm imagining a few years ago, or at least most people in most families, calling your parents for a meeting. Sitting them down and telling them, by the way, A, B, C, D, E, explain. Some people had the liberty to do that, and they ended up becoming who they are now. Some people, you wouldn't even dream of sitting your parents down and trying to make them explain to you things that are confusing to you, especially things that pertain to their relationship, yeah? But I think it's an important thing for you to explain to your children, especially in cases like this where the children are honestly seeking out actual answers and they clearly seem mature enough to digest the information. Give them the correct information. Don't put them in a situation where you're giving them half-truths and half-lies, because they take your word for gospel, and now they're fighting all these other people outside because they're like, no, my mom and dad said this, my mom and dad says this. They end up becoming very confused. It's a very confusing way to lead and you know, let your children grow up. Just tell them the truth of what is going on, because you made these decisions and it's not like they're going to change anytime soon. But in this case, do you think that they're trying to cover it all up because they feel like there's a potential of them getting back together? So they're like, why tell the children anyway if we're going to get back together and everything is going to become kumbaya again? What do you think?
I don't think they'll ever get back together. I think they work really well as co-parents. It was a very toxic situation for the both of them, and even especially more so for Zari, because she was constantly covering up for his mishaps. And he felt he was too celebrity and too global and too big to be tied down to one woman. And it's embarrassing, you know. You don't want to be opening your DMs every morning and somebody's like, yo, I was with your man. You know, look what your man was doing. It's very embarrassing. It's very disheartening. You wouldn't want to be in that situation long term. So let them just find their happiness in each way. And children, actually children will embarrass you.
True.
Children will ask you embarrassing questions. My son out here asking my neighbor, where is your car? And I was like, what if he doesn't come? Children will ask the questions they want to ask, and they will wait for the answer.